The manhwa opens in the heavenly realm, where a breathtaking sky and towering mountains create a majestic backdrop. An old man gazes into a celestial mirror, perplexed as to why the heavens have chosen a seemingly unremarkable individual. The scene shifts to the world below. In a martial arts training ground of the Wudang sect, Yun Chungwon, the main character, mutters to himself, "Sure, whatever, it's not all sloppy thought." His instructor rebukes him, telling him to focus on the sparring match rather than spouting nonsense. Yun apologizes, but he remains distracted, hearing a strange voice he cannot locate. As Yun continues to search for the voice's source, his opponent, Yoon Si-hoo, becomes enraged. Furious at being ignored during the battle, Yoon charges at Yun with anger blazing in his eyes. Startled, Yun barely manages to block the attack. However, Yoon finds an opening and lands a powerful punch to Yun's stomach. "How dare you ignore me when I'm right in front of you?" Yoon sneers. "Today, you'll die at my hands." The onlookers mock Yun, calling him weak and foolish for challenging someone as skilled as Yoon without the ability to back it up. Yun hears their jeers but remains determined, thinking to himself that he won't be the weakest forever. He lunges at Yoon, trying to land a punch, but his attacks are clumsy and ineffective. Yoon effortlessly dodges and counters, mocking Yun's lack of skill. "How did someone like you even get here?" Yoon taunts. Grinding his teeth in frustration, Yun declares, "I'm here to become stronger, just like you." Despite his resolve, Yoon easily overpowers him again, delivering a brutal kick to Yun's face that sends him sprawling to the ground, blood dripping from his mouth. Yun faints, much to the disappointment of the celestial old man, who watches the scene unfold with mounting frustration. Why is he progressing so slowly? The old man muses. Does he lack potential, or does he simply not know how to train properly? As Yun lies on the ground, defeated, he reflects on his journey. He had always admired martial artists, longing to join their ranks. That vague admiration from his childhood had grown into envy, pushing him to join the Wudang sect. Yet, perhaps he was never talented to begin with, and this is where his path has led him. The celestial old man attempts to wake Yun, shouting at him for napping after being so thoroughly beaten. Startled, Yun quickly apologizes, his reaction confirming the old man's suspicion. Yun can hear him, realizing it might be telepathy. Yun looks around in confusion, asking aloud, "Who are you?" His gaze lands on a giant statue of Zhang Sanfeng, the founder of the Wudang sect and the legendary figure credited with creating Tai Chi. The owner nicknames like Sloppy, Ragtag Taoist. He was an eccentric known for treating everyone equally, from the emperor to commoners without regard for their ranks. "Are you Zhang Sanfeng?" Yun asks hesitantly. "Yes, that's right," the old man replies. "But why aren't you more surprised?" Yun shrugs. "Isn't it better for something ridiculous to be happening than for me to actually be crazy?" Amused by Yun's response, Zhang Sanfeng bursts into laughter. Yun, ever curious, begins crafting a small statue while looking up at the massive stone figure. Straining his neck, Zhang finds Yun's antics amusing, calling him an interesting young man. Their conversation is interrupted by one of Yun's peers, who reminds him it's time for the review session. Reviews are meant to analyze sparring performances, but in Yun's case, they often serve as excuses for more beatings. Despite this, Yun promises himself that he will grow stronger. Seeing Yun's determination, Zhang Sanfeng notes the boy's strangely bright smile, even in such a difficult situation. When Yun asks if he enjoys strange things, Zhang grins. "I absolutely love them," he replies. The sparring match resumes, but Yun struggles. Yoon Si-hoo lands direct hits, ignoring the referee's warnings, knowing his status protects him. Watching this, Zhang Sanfeng decides to intervene, instructing Yun to perform a veiling hand elbow strike without any preparatory movements. Zhang warns him against tensing his body, which only reveals his intent to the opponent. Confused, Yun hesitates. Zhang presses him to recall another basic technique. Yun mentions 6 sealing and 4 closing but admits he isn't confident in using it. Yoon smirks. "If you want to use that technique, you'll have to get close. A dull head like yours will only make your body suffer." As Yoon charges, Zhang guides Yun, helping him block incoming attacks. Though Yun manages to hold his ground, Yoon's overwhelming strength pushes him back. Planting his feet firmly, Yun regains balance and prepares for the next assault. Yun attempts a spinning kick, but Yun grabs his leg, not just to block but to measure the distance between them. Using Zheng's instructions, Yun blocks Yun's vision and redirects his movements, much to the spectator's shock. Angered, Yun screams Yun's name, but Yun remains calm, focusing on his opponent's weaknesses. He counters with a series of precise strikes, lifting Yun into the air and executing a technique so powerful that it sends Yun flying through the training hall doors. The crowd is stunned by Yun's display of power and skill. John Sanfeng, thoroughly impressed, acknowledges Yun's potential and offers to train him in the martial arts. For the first time, Yun realizes the strength he can achieve, and that his journey to greatness is now begin.